Something shocking just happened, and it's coming from someone we rarely hear from. Barron Trump, the youngest and most private member of the Trump family, just made a bold announcement that's catching everyone off guard. For years, he stayed behind the scenes while his family made headlines, gave interviews, and lived in the spotlight. But now, at 19 years old, Barron is finally speaking up, and what he just revealed has sparked a wave of speculation. Is he talking about his future plans? His famous father? Or is this something no one could have predicted? One thing's clear, this isn't the same quiet Barron we all thought we knew. So what changed? And what does this mean for the Trump legacy moving forward? To get the full picture, we need to go back, because the clues were there all along. Barron Trump, the silent observer who's finally stepping forward. Let's be real, Barron Trump is probably the most mysterious member of the Trump family. While his siblings were out making waves, running businesses, doing interviews, and building their brands, Barron stayed in the shadows. No interviews. No media appearances. No dramatic headlines. Just silence, but don't let that fool you. Just because he wasn't loud doesn't mean he wasn't watching. Barron didn't grow up like most kids. While others were riding bikes down the block or going to birthday parties at the local pizza place, Barron was living a completely different reality. Imagine spending your childhood in the most recognized home on the planet. That was Barron's world. When Donald Trump was elected president in 2016, Barron was only 10. And while most presidential kids moved to Washington, D.C. right away, Barron stayed behind in New York for a few more months. Melania made sure he finished his school year at Columbia Grammar and Preparatory School before making the move. It was a subtle decision, but it said a lot about how protective she was over his experience. When he did move into the White House, he made history. Barron became the first boy to live there since John F. Kennedy Jr. in 1961. That's a huge deal. But even in that historic moment, Barron didn't steal the spotlight. He didn't show up for flashy press conferences or photo ops. He simply existed. Quietly. And honestly? Living in the White House wasn't all glitz and glamour. Sure, it sounds like a dream: huge rooms, fancy dinners, endless attention. But the reality? It's constant surveillance, tight routines, and zero freedom. Secret Service was always around. Any attempt to play outside or just be a regular kid came with cameras, criticism, and a million eyes watching. That kind of environment takes a toll. Especially on a kid who didn't ask to be there. Melania did everything she could to shield Barron from the chaos. She kept him away from the press. She rarely brought him to public events. And while it helped protect his privacy, it also sparked curiosity, and unfortunately, a lot of rumors. People on the internet became obsessed with Barron. Not in a supportive way, but in the worst way possible. There were wild speculations about his health, his behavior, even his intelligence. Some called him too quiet or emotionless in public appearances. Others went so far as to suggest bizarre conspiracy theories, labeling him a secret mastermind or a misunderstood genius. And while other presidential kids like Sasha and Malia Obama or Chelsea Clinton had defenders rushing to their side when they were unfairly targeted, Barron didn't get the same level of protection from the public. It felt different. Colder. More invasive. Even comedians and media personalities crossed the line, mocking him, dragging him into political jokes, and using his name for laughs. And through all of it? Barron said nothing. Not a single word. No interviews. No rebuttals. No emotional Instagram posts. Just silence. And that silence? It only added to the mystery. While Donald Jr., Ivanka, and Eric were making headlines for political takes or business moves, Barron was quietly sitting back, watching. Learning. Observing how the world treated his family, and how it treated him. But here's where it gets interesting. Because while everyone was busy trying to figure out who Barron was, he was already shaping his own identity behind the scenes. He wasn't just sitting still. He was preparing, maybe for something much bigger than any of us realized. And now, as he steps out of his teen years and into adulthood, he's starting to show signs that he's ready to break the silence. People close to the family have noticed shifts. Small but telling. And there's a buzz around him again, but this time it's not fueled by rumors, but by what he's planning to do next. So, what has Barron Trump been secretly working on all these years? And why is everyone suddenly paying attention? Barron's impressive achievements. For the longest time, Barron Trump was almost like a mystery character in the Trump family story. While the world watched his father dominate headlines and his siblings jump into the spotlight, Barron quietly stayed in the background. No interviews, no social media drama, and barely any public appearances. Just silence. But recently? That silence has started to fade, and for a very specific reason. In May of 2024, Barron hit a major milestone. He graduated from Oxbridge Academy, a well-known private school tucked away in Palm Beach, Florida. But instead of the big, flashy Trump-style celebration you'd expect, the event was surprisingly quiet. No loud announcements. No attention-grabbing speeches. Just his parents in attendance, watching him step into a new chapter of life. But here's the thing, this moment wasn't just about finishing high school. It marked something bigger. Barron was finally in charge of his own direction. No longer just the youngest Trump, he was ready to make choices for himself. And his next move? Well, that's where people started paying real attention. While many assumed he'd follow directly in Donald Trump's footsteps, real estate deals, and the whole empire, Barron surprised everyone. He chose to attend New York University's Stern School of Business. And that decision spoke volumes. This wasn't just about picking a school. It was about choosing a different path. Unlike his father, who went to the Wharton School at the University of Pennsylvania, a school also attended by Donald Jr., Ivanka, and Tiffany, Barron broke the pattern. And he did it quietly, without explanation. Was this his way of stepping out of the shadow of the Trump legacy? Possibly. Especially considering Stern's reputation. The school is tough, competitive, and known for shaping creative minds in business, tech, and entrepreneurship. For someone like Barron, who's grown up surrounded by deals and headlines, it might just be the perfect place to write his own story, and he's doing it without the noise. No viral posts. No interviews. Just calculated moves and quiet confidence. So now the question is, what's next? Because if we've learned anything about Barron Trump, it's that nothing he does is random. Every step feels like part of a bigger picture. And the fact that he's now stepping forward to make the huge announcements means something big might be on the way. But what is it? You'll want to stick around to find out. Barron Trump's biggest controversies. Barron Trump may have stayed out of the spotlight for most of his life, but has he avoided the drama and controversies from the media? From eyebrow-raising comments on social media to elite college scandals, what exactly happened? When Barron Trump enrolled at New York University's Stern School of Business, it wasn't just another rich kid heading off to an elite school. It was the son of one of the most polarizing figures in modern American politics stepping into a historically liberal environment. And, unsurprisingly, his presence on campus didn't go unnoticed. The controversy started when Kaya J. Walker, the president of the university's college Republicans, gave an interview to Vanity Fair about her role as a young conservative on campus. In the piece, she casually referred to Barron as an oddity on campus. That one phrase, an oddity, was enough to set off a firestorm. Trump supporters immediately jumped on the comment, accusing Walker of alienating Barron and implying that he was unwelcome even among conservatives. The backlash was so intense that she was ultimately forced to resign from her position. Walker later attempted to clarify, saying that her words had been taken out of context. She insisted that she wasn't trying to insult Barron but was simply commenting on the unusual nature of his presence at NYU. However, the damage was done. The situation sparked a heated debate. Was the outrage justified, or was it an overreaction? Some argued that Barron, being the son of a president, should expect scrutiny wherever he goes. Others felt it was unfair to single him out when he had done nothing to warrant negative attention. Interestingly, Barron himself never publicly addressed the controversy. Those close to him suggested that he preferred to stay out of the drama, but behind closed doors, it was said that he wasn't thrilled about being the center of a political firestorm. Regardless, the incident proved one thing, even in an environment where he was trying to carve out of a normal college experience, Barron Trump couldn't escape the weight of his last name. A social media storm. Did Barron go too far? If there's one thing the Trump family knows well, it's how to stir up social media. But no one expected Barron to be the one making headlines online. In March 2025, a post surfaced from an account that claimed to belong to Barron Trump. The message, which quickly went viral, read, "They don't call him Zelensky for nothing." It was an apparent jab at Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, referencing allegations that Ukraine had received billions in US aid during its conflict with Russia. The post immediately sparked controversy. Critics saw it as an insensitive remark, accusing Barron of mocking Ukraine's leader at a time when the country was in crisis. The comment was widely condemned, with political commentators calling it tone-deaf and reckless. But here's where things got even more complicated. Was the account even real? Despite the backlash, there was no official confirmation that the account belonged to Barron. Some speculated that it was a fake fan account, created by someone looking to stir up controversy. Others believed that even if Barron had made the post, it was just an offhand remark that had been blown out of proportion. The Trump family remained silent on the matter, refusing to confirm or deny Barron's involvement. Meanwhile, social media platforms scrambled to verify the authenticity of the account, but no definitive answers ever emerged. Whether he wrote the post or not, the incident highlighted a major challenge Barron faces. His name alone is enough to cause an uproar. While his father thrives on controversy, Barron seems to prefer a quieter life, but as this situation proved, staying out of the drama isn't always up to him. Financial firewalls. A shocking banking snub. Switching gears to the financial front, it seems the Trump name doesn't always open doors. In October 2024, Melania released a memoir that contained a shocking revelation. Barron, then 18, had tried to open a personal bank account, only to be rejected. According to the First Lady, a longtime bank gave her the boot and slammed the door on Barron's attempt to open a new account. "I was shocked and dismayed to learn that my longtime bank decided to terminate my account and deny my son the opportunity to open a new one," she said in her memoir. Melania also stated that the bank gave vague reasons for the denial, but never explicitly stated that Barron's connection to the Trump family was the issue. However, she believed it was no coincidence, arguing that the fallout from the January 6 Capitol riots had led financial institutions to distance themselves from anything linked to the Trump brand. Naturally, the claim ignited a political firestorm. Conservative media outlets rallied behind Barron, framing the incident as proof that Trump derangement syndrome had gone too far. On the other side, critics questioned whether Melania's claims were exaggerated, with some suggesting there might have been other reasons for the denial. What made the story even murkier was the lack of confirmation from the bank itself. No institution came forward to verify or deny the claim, leaving the public to speculate. Despite the controversy, nobody really knows if Barron eventually managed to secure a bank account elsewhere or not. But the incident left a lasting impression, reinforcing the idea that, fair or not, the Trump name carries baggage that extends far beyond politics. Inside Barron Trump's private world, his bond with Melania, secret hobbies, and love life. While Barron Trump has mostly avoided the brash, headline-grabbing moments that define his father's career, it's clear that controversy still finds him, whether he invites it or not. Speaking of Melania Trump, she has fiercely shielded Barron from the spotlight, but what goes on behind closed doors? From their tight bond to his surprising hobbies, here's what we've uncovered. While most kids in high-profile families crave attention, the youngest Trump prefers to stay in the background. But if there's one person he's never too far from, it's his mother, Melania Trump. Barron has been carefully protected, and much of that is thanks to Melania's fierce devotion. But what is their relationship really like? It's no secret that Melania Trump has always put Barron first. Unlike Donald Trump's other children, who grew up in the chaos of his real estate empire and reality television career, Barron had a very different upbringing. Melania made sure of that. While Donald was busy running businesses, and later, the country, Melania took on the role of Barron's primary caretaker. She was the one